A sudden crack shatters the hush of the penthouse living room. It's the sound of Talia Carmichael's hand striking her husband's face, her delicate fingers trembling from the impact. Roy Carmichael, a billionaire known for his iron will and strategic mind, stumbles back 2 steps. His right cheek stings under her blow, but her eyes burn with deeper pain. No explanation is given. No context. Just raw shock. His usual composure abandons him. He's at a total loss for words. Talia grips a crumpled sheet of paper in her left hand. She's 8 weeks pregnant, her belly not yet visible beneath a tailored blouse, but the intensity in her gaze makes her seem larger than life. Her entire body quivers with rage, heartbreak, something primal. The piece of paper flutters to the ground. Roy stares at it blankly. He sees only a few words: "I'm sorry. Jade. Forever." It's an email, or maybe a letter. He doesn't understand how it got here or why Talia looks at him like he's a stranger. Above them, the city lights flicker through floor-to-ceiling windows. It's late, well past midnight. This was supposed to be a quiet evening. Maybe watch a film. Talk about baby names. Instead, Talia stands in front of him, tears silently streaming down her cheeks, shoulders set firm. There's so much anger in the air, it's almost suffocating. Roy wants to speak, to ask what's going on, but that slap has knocked the words from his mouth. His mind races Jade Rogers. The name feels like a half-forgotten ghost. Did she contact Talia? How? Why? He leans forward, tries to brush Talia's arm gently, but she recoils. The heartbreak in her eyes cuts him deeper than any physical blow could. He knows that look: betrayal, devastation. It's the same expression he once promised she'd never have to wear again. In the silence, Talia's labored breathing is the only sound. The elevator dings softly in the hallway, mocking the tension inside this lavish room. Outside, the city never sleeps, but here time stands still. Finally, Talia speaks in a voice so low it's nearly a whisper. "How dare you bring her back into our lives?" Roy feels his heart pound. He can't answer because he doesn't know the details yet. But he knows Jade was once his mistress, back in the days of poor decisions and reckless ambition. That was years ago. He cut ties, or thought he did. "You think I wrote that email?" he manages, voice raspy. "Talia, I haven't spoken to Jade in..." Her hand shakes as she points to the door. "Get out." He pauses, confusion plain on his face. "It's my penthouse," he mutters, but the words come out hollow. The shock is too intense to cling to pride. Talia's voice cracks. "Get out." Her eyes flicker down to her stomach, then back up to him. "I can't even look at you right now." Roy feels an urgent need to fix this, but he doesn't know what this is. In that moment, the only thing he's certain of is that he just lost the woman he loves, the mother of his unborn child, over something he can't explain. And the real story hasn't even begun. Roy stands outside his own penthouse, the cold hallway feeling more hostile than any boardroom he's ever faced. The city skyline glitters through the corridor's glass wall, but the dazzling lights offer no comfort. He's the billionaire everyone admires for his intellect and power plays. Yet right now, he's reduced to a confused man shut out of his own home. He doesn't knock again. One glance at that thick doors is enough to know Talia needs space, and possibly something he's never had to give before: real vulnerability. But he wonders if it's too late. His mind replays the sting of her slap, the heartbreak etched into her face, and that single name, Jade. As the elevator doors slide open, he steps in like a sleepwalker. This might be the greatest injustice he's ever known, but he can't see how it's happening. Jade was his mistress once, in a time he regrets bitterly. He ended that affair to fight for Talia's trust. She eventually forgave him, or so he believed. Now, this single email or letter, whatever it is, could unravel everything he built since then. By the time Roy emerges onto the street level, the doorman greets him cheerfully, oblivious to the storm in his life. That's when he spots an unexpected figure lurking near a parked black SUV, Marshall Green, his personal security detail. Marshall's broad shoulders tense as Roy approaches. "Sir, everything all right?" Marshall's voice is gravelly, tinted with concern. Roy hesitates. Talia demanded he leave, but does that mean she's at risk should he station Marshall upstairs to protect her? The question churns in his mind. He never dreamed his pregnant wife would need protection from him or from his past. Follow my wife's instructions. Roy says quietly, well, if she needs anything, do it. Marshall nods, but confusion shadows his eyes. Roy is known to be direct, unafraid, always in control. This abrupt shift to an almost submissive stance is startling. Do you want me to find out who delivered that letter? Marshall asks. Roy exhales, relief mixing with dread. Yes, he says, discreetly. The injustice here is layered, Talia condemning him for a betrayal he may not have committed, Jade's reappearance in some form, and the haunting possibility that someone is setting him up. Roy tries to push down the anger rising in his chest. Anger won't fix Talia's hurt. Anger won't keep his unborn child safe. Before he can climb into his own car, another voice calls out, "Hey, Mr. Carmichael." It's a neighbor, an older woman named Mrs. Fletcher. She noticed Talia's outburst upstairs. Maybe the raised voices. She's giving Roy a pitying look. Is everything okay? I heard something earlier. Roy musters a faint smile. Just a misunderstanding. He lies politely. Thanks for asking. In that moment, Roy feels the walls close in on his personal life. The world sees him as a man who's always one step ahead. But not now. He's clueless, and that injustice stings worse than any corporate ambush he's navigated. Deep down, though, Roy suspects this is more than a random letter. The seeds of betrayal were planted long ago. Someone is watching, orchestrating, and as he slips into the backseat of his car, one gut-wrenching thought surfaces. What if this is only the beginning and he's already lost everything that truly matters? Morning light breaks across the city, painting the skyline with shades of orange and gold. Roy hasn't slept. He's holed up in a luxury hotel suite, his mind replaying the night's events over and over. The quiet hum of the air conditioner underscores his restless pacing. He checks his phone, nothing from Talia. No missed calls, no texts. It's both infuriating and terrifying. Usually, Talia's the one who initiates calm conversations after an argument. She's rational, grounded. This silence is unnatural. He's about to dial her number again when Marshall's name lights up the screen. Roy answers immediately. Talk to me. Marshall's tone is all business. Sir, I checked with the building's security. A courier delivered an unmarked envelope yesterday afternoon, addressed to Mrs. Talia Carmichael. No return address. The staff recognized the company logo on the courier's uniform, so I called them. The request was placed online, paid in cash at a Dropbox kiosk. Roy closes his eyes, heart sinking. This was meticulously planned. Do we have any leads on who paid? Not yet, Marshall says, but I have a potential contact. The driver reported the pickup location was near Easton Tower, one of your holdings. Right, Roy frowns. Easton Tower is a commercial property he owns, mostly rented out to small businesses. Jade used to lease an office under an alias, years ago, but that was before Talia learned of the affair. Could it be? I need a full check. Roy says firmly, access my property management logs. Find out if Jade Rogers or any shell corporation she might have used is active. Marshall hesitates. Understood, sir. But one more thing, Ms. Carmichael. She's staying in the penthouse. She hasn't left since last night. Asked for groceries delivered. Didn't want housekeeping inside. Roy swallows hard. She's barricaded herself in their home. Pregnant. Upset. And he's the last person she wants to see. The injustice of the entire situation crashes down on him. He once committed a serious sin and affair. He won Talia back by swearing total honesty and a clean slate. Now, that old wound is reopened without warning. After the call ends, Roy sets his phone down and leans against the suite's glass wall. Below, traffic surges through the streets. He remembers how Talia used to remind him of the city's unstoppable spirit. We bend, but we don't break. Right now, though, Talia might be breaking inside, and it's all linked to Jade. He thinks about the baby. They'd only recently learned about the pregnancy. It felt like a second chance at building a real family. No more secrets, no more regrets. Now, the moment that should have been pure gold is tainted by suspicion and betrayal. An internal voice nags at him. Maybe Talia is right to suspect. Maybe Jade never truly left his life. Roy checks his old phone logs, searching for Jade's number, some random message. Anything that might have triggered this? Nothing. He's clean, or so he believes. Anger flares. If Jade is orchestrating this, why now he's on the brink of finalizing a massive philanthropic initiative, the Carmichael Health Foundation, specifically in Talia's name? Could sabotage be her motive? Or is someone else pulling the strings? Roy takes a slow breath and clenches his fists. He won't let an unseen enemy destroy his marriage again. Yet deep in his gut, he senses the worst is yet to come. Talia sits on the living room sofa, the same place she slapped Roy last night. The penthouse feels eerily silent. A morning show mumbles on the television in the background, but she's not paying attention. She's gripping that damning note, "I'm sorry. Jade. Forever." Her phone vibrates, showing a missed call from her obstetrician's office, a reminder about her prenatal checkup. She ignores it for now. Her eyes wander to the portrait of her and Roy from 2 years ago, taken on their wedding anniversary. They looked blissfully happy, like survivors who overcame past storms. Yet in her heart, Talia always feared the name Jade Rogers might reappear. She remembers the darkest period of her marriage. Roy's affair nearly crushed her. But when he confessed, he claimed it was over, that Jade was gone. Talia forgave him, or tried to. She locked that pain away, deciding that rebuilding was better than resentment. She wonders if that was a mistake. Her mind travels back to the day she met Jade, purely by accident. Talia was returning Roy's phone to his office when Jade emerged, wearing a smug smile. She was younger, confident, and her eyes glinted with an audacity that still haunts Talia's dreams. That day, Jade said one thing that cut deeply. "He'll never leave me. He loves my ambition, my fearlessness. You're just safe." Talia never shared that comment with Roy. She told him to choose. He chose Talia, severing ties with Jade. But had he? This letter suggests otherwise. The memories swirl, painting Jade as a ghost that never truly left. The doorbell rings, snapping Talia out of her thoughts. She stands cautiously. Could it be Roy? Part of her longs for him to explain, to soothe her fears. But she's also furious. She tiptoes to the intercom. It's not Roy. It's an unexpected visitor, Lillian Ashcroft, Roy's longtime personal attorney and an old family friend. Talia buzzes her in. Lillian arrives with a gentle knock, her posture showing quiet concern. She sets her briefcase on the coffee table. "I won't ask what happened," Lillian says, her voice calm. "But Roy asked me to bring you something, some documents that might clarify certain confusions." Talia narrows her eyes. "Documents? Is this about Jade?" Lillian nods slightly, producing a small folder. "This is a sworn statement from Roy, attesting he's had zero contact with Jade Rogers since the date of the break. It's notarized. He also wants you to see phone records, email logs, everything. He insisted there's no new affair." Talia flips through the papers, her heart pounding. The evidence is pretty convincing. Roy's personal accounts, chronological logs, all squeaky clean. Anxiety stirs within her. Could the letter be a forgery? A cruel trick? Lillian's tone softens. "I've known Roy for 20 years. Talia, he's not perfect, but if he says Jade's out of his life, I believe him. Someone might be manipulating you." Talia feels dizzy. If Roy is telling the truth, that means Jade, or some other party, is behind this infiltration. Why target Talia now? She glances at the sonogram pinned to the fridge. Their unborn child is caught in the crossfire of a past she thought was buried. In that moment, Talia's anger transitions into confusion and a hint of fear. If Roy's innocence is real, then everything she assumed last night might be twisted. The question that rattles her, has Jade returned? And if so, to do what afternoon sunlight streams through the penthouse windows as Talia and Lily sit at the kitchen island, quietly reviewing files. The tension that once filled this space has tempered into uneasy calm. Talia can't ignore the meticulous detail in Roy's documentation. It's as if he prepared for the day Jade might resurface, wanting to prove his innocence immediately. Lillian exhales. Roy asked me to deliver another message. He's staying at the Metropolitan Suites. He'll wait for you to reach out. No pressure, just wants you to know he's not running. Talia offers a shaky nod. Running is what he used to do. Maybe he's changed. Her voice wavers with lingering doubt. She half expects Jade to burst through the door at any moment, brandishing more evidence of betrayal. But Jade's nowhere to be found, only that cryptic, cruel letter remains. Lillian closes the folder. Talia, I have to ask if Jade is behind this. What's her endgame? Talia rubs her forehead, exhaustion pressing down. I'm not sure. When Jade was with Roy, she wanted fame, money, influence. She used to talk about building a business empire, but Roy refused to fund her. She disappeared after we reconciled. She glances at the sonogram pinned on the fridge again. Maybe she never truly let go of him. Just then, Talia's phone vibrates on the counter. It's a text from an unknown number. Check your email, Mrs. Carmichael. If you won't believe a letter, maybe you'll believe pictures. Her heart pounds. She opens her inbox. There are attachments from a throwaway address. Lillian peers over Talia's shoulder. They see a series of grainy photos Roy entering a building that could be Easton Tower. In one shot, Jade's distinctive figure emerges from a side entrance minutes later. The timestamps are from 4 days ago. Talia's face drains of color. He said he hasn't seen her, she mutters, feeling betrayed all over again. But Lillian points to the building's signage. That's Easton Tower, she agrees. Roy has daily business there. Jade might too. Lillian zooms in. The time gap between Roy and Jade is nearly 15 minutes. They aren't together in a single photo. The angles look deliberately misleading. Yet, the message is potent. Jade and Roy in the same place on the same day. Talia's emotions swirl. He never mentioned she was around, she whispers. A fresh wave of hurt surfacing. How do I trust him when everything lines up this way? Lillian purses her lips. Could be coincidence. Could be a setup. But the visual impact is strong. Jade's playing psychological warfare. Confusion gnaws at Talia's heart. She had steeled herself to believe Roy's innocence after seeing his logs, but these images undermine that trust. The memory of Jade's smug promise, he'll never leave me, echoes. Finally, Talia clenches her fists. If Jade wants to terrorize me, she's succeeding. But I won't cower. I'm going to Easton Tower to see for myself. Lillian grips Talia's arm gently. You're pregnant. Be careful. Let me or Roy handle this. But Talia stands, determination shining in her eyes. This is my life, my marriage, my child. I won't be a bystander. In that moment, Talia transforms from a wounded spouse to a woman on a mission. This conflict runs deeper than a single affair. Some hidden past or conspiracy is unraveling before her, and Talia Carmichael is ready to face it head-on, no matter the cost. Late afternoon shadows stretch across the polished marble floors of Easton Tower. Talia steps out of the elevator on the 27th floor, her heart thudding against her ribcage. She's never ventured here alone. This level mostly hosts law firms and private consulting offices. Roy manages the entire building, but rarely details the exact tenants. Clutching her purse, Talia glances at the list of businesses on a directory board. She expected to see Jade Rogers' name or one of her old aliases, but there's nothing obvious. She exhales, reminding herself to remain calm. She heads to the tower's management office first. A startled assistant recognizes Mrs. Carmichael and hurriedly offers help. Talia smiles politely. I just need some tenant files, especially any new leases in the last 3 months. Is Roy in today? The assistant hesitates. Mr. Carmichael. He hasn't been in for a few days. He's overseeing other expansions. But sure, I can show you the recent signings, if that's allowed. She hands Talia a digital tablet. Talia scans through the new tenant names. None jump out. She wonders if Jade might be operating under a deeper cover. She sets the tablet down, tries another angle. Is there a space here that's not on official records, like a short-term lease or private arrangement? The assistant looks flustered. I wouldn't know. That'd be unusual. But you could ask Mr. Price, the building manager. Talia's phone buzzes. Another unknown text. She checks it. So close, but you won't find me on a list. Wrong floor. Talia, try the 10th. A chill runs down her spine. Someone is watching her in real time. She whips around, scanning corners, windows, hallways. Her stomach churns with anxiety. Without another word, she pivots and re-enters the elevator, pressing the button for the 10th floor. Anxiety tangles with adrenaline. She's stepping into Jade's game now, and Jade holds all the cards. The doors slide open. The corridor is dim, under renovation. Plastic sheets drape half-finished walls. Her footsteps echo on exposed concrete. A single overhead light flickers. It's unnerving. If Jade is here, Talia sees no sign of her. Then a voice resonates from behind a plastic tarp. You're persistent. I respect that. Talia's heart nearly stops. She can't see who's speaking, but the voice is definitely female and coldly confident. She parts the tarp. An empty space awaits. Half-constructed offices. Nobody's there. In the far corner, Talia spots a flickering laptop on a makeshift table, a small camera perched atop. The camera lens stares straight at her. Is this Jade's remote setup? She approaches, dread creeping in. The laptop screen shows a live feed of Talia, standing right here. Next to it, a single typed message: I warned you. Now he'll lose everything. Unless, Talia's breath catches. Unless what she murmurs. A beat from the camera. Another line appears. Unless you walk away, give him a taste of what it's like to live alone. Let me finish what we started. Talia stands there, trembling with rage. Jade is toying with her and possibly still obsessed with Roy. Overhead, the fluorescent light crackles. She hears footsteps in the corridor. She spins around, expecting Jade in the flesh, but no one appears. Then with a hiss, the laptop screen goes black. Talia is left in a half-lit construction space, feeling the weight of her unborn child pressing down on her consciousness. Jade wants to break them, and Talia senses this is only the first strike. Night falls by the time Talia returns to the hotel suite where Roy is staying. She's drained, physically and emotionally. Her mind buzzes with 1,000 questions about Jade's mind games, about Roy's possible involvement, about how to protect herself and this baby from further harm. Roy opens the door. His expression shifts from relief to alarm upon seeing Talia's unsettled face. Talia, he breathes, stepping aside so she can enter. She doesn't move to embrace him, but she doesn't recoil either. Progress. Maybe. The suite is softly lit, neat but impersonal. Talia sets her purse down, standing near the window that overlooks the city. I went to Easton Tower, she says, voice stiff. Jade was there, or at least her digital presence was. She's playing with us. Roy's brow furrows. What do you mean, digital presence? She recounts the scene on the 10th floor, the cryptic messages, the live camera feed, how Jade threatened that Roy would lose everything unless Talia walked away. Throughout her explanation, Roy's eyes narrow in a mixture of anger and fear. When she finishes, there's a heavy silence. Then Roy says, I didn't know. I swear. Talia? I had no idea Jade set up anything in my building. Talia studies him. I saw pictures of you entering Easton Tower the same day Jade was there. He sinks onto a chair, raking a hand through his hair. I'm there frequently for business. I had no clue she was around. If I'd seen her, I would have told you immediately. Talia's eyes brim with conflicting emotions. She desperately wants to trust him. She remembers the folder of evidence proving he hasn't reached out to Jade, but the fear remains. Why would she do this now? We're stable. We're expecting a baby. She could have done this years ago. Roy's jaw tightens. That's what Marshall is trying to uncover. Could be blackmail. Could be she's aiming to sabotage a major deal. My philanthropic foundation is about to finalize a massive healthcare partnership. Jade may want a piece of that. Talia shakes her head. She's threatened to break us apart or ruin you. She wants me gone. A flicker of determination lights Roy's eyes. She won't get that. I won't let her manipulate us again. He stands, moving closer to Talia but not touching her unless she allows. Tell me what you need. She closes her eyes momentarily, letting out a trembling breath. I need to know you're telling the truth, that I'm not the fool I was before. His voice cracks. I am telling the truth. I'm done running from my past. I lost you once over Jade. I won't lose you again. A tear slips down her cheek, but she brushes it away. Then we face her together. But if I find out you lied, Roy meets her gaze steadily. I understand. She exhales, shoulders dropping as exhaustion claims her. For now, this moment is a fragile accord. Jade's presence looms large, but at least Talia isn't facing it alone. Roy signals to the table where he's been reviewing building documents. I have Marshall compiling everything about Jade's alias history. We'll figure out how she's slipping through the cracks. Outside, the city lights twinkle. Within these quiet walls, two people cling to the shards of trust they still hold. The child Talia carries in her womb becomes a symbol of hope, but Jade's next move could shatter all that in an instant. Sunrise finds Roy back at Easton Tower with Marshall by his side. Talia decided to rest at the hotel doctor's orders, demanded she reduce stress, though that feels impossible. Roy's mind churns with frustration as they step off the elevator onto the 10th floor. The overhead lights flicker ominously. Marshall gestures to the construction zone. I had our tech guy run scans. The laptop and camera Talia described are gone. No sign of forced entry. Jade must have had a key or an inside contact. Roy moves through the dusty corridor, scanning the half-finished walls. So Jade might be paying someone on staff to look the other way. He remembers Jade's cunning from the past. She was always adept at bending people to her will. They reach the corner where Talia found the makeshift setup. It's an empty space now, only footprints in the dust. Roy crouches and picks up a single silver earring from the floor. He recognizes it instantly. Jade wore flashy jewelry. This piece matches her style perfectly. She's leaving clues on purpose, taunting them. Marshall kneels beside Roy. She wants you to know she was here. This is psychological warfare. Roy's gaze hardens. Let's give her a fight she won't forget. He stands, pulling out his phone, firing off instructions to his in-house security director, comb through all the staff, contractors, deliveries. Someone let Jade slip in and out. A beep signals a new text. Roy checks it's from Talia. Doctor says I need to avoid stress, but I want to see this through. Where are you? He replies quickly, telling her he's at Easton Tower with Marshall. Then, almost as an afterthought, I love you. We'll end this. He pockets the phone and sweeps the area one more time. No more clues. Jade is too skilled to leave behind more than a symbolic trophy. She's controlling the narrative. They exit the 10th floor, stepping into the elevator. Roy's jaw clenches. I want 24/7 surveillance on Talia. I don't trust Jade not to escalate. Marshall agrees. If Jade's next move targets Mrs. Carmichael directly, we need to be prepared. She could attempt blackmail or worse. The ride down is tense. Roy's mind flickers to that unborn child. He already failed once by allowing Jade to wedge a blade between him and Talia. If Jade tries anything threatening Talia's safety, Roy is prepared to push back hard. The lobby is bustling with tenants and visitors, oblivious to the hidden drama unfolding upstairs. As Roy and Marshall stride toward the exit, an older man in a janitor's uniform catches Roy's eye. The man quickly looks away, almost guiltily. Roy makes a mental note to have Marshall check his background. Paranoia or not, trust is scarce now. Outside, the sun is bright, but Roy feels like he's walking in shadows. Jade's ghostly presence lingers in every corner of his property, in every piece of suspicious behavior. He's done with letting her control the board. They approach Roy's car when Marshall's phone rings. He answers, tension forging lines across his brow. Slow down. He barks. What do you mean Talia's gone? Roy's heart plummets. Gone. Marshall grips the phone. Hotel staff said she left in a hurry. Alone. She didn't say where she was going. Roy feels dread coil in his chest. Jade must have made a move. Talia's put herself in the line of fire. And as panic grips him, Roy realizes Jade is still one step ahead, dangling Talia as bait in a game that's about to get even more dangerous. Talia grips the steering wheel of her sedan, eyes fixed on the road. She's not reckless. She's following traffic rules, but anxiety surges through her. After receiving a cryptic text from an unknown number, she made a split-second decision to drive out of the city alone. The text said he's lying. Meet me at Briarpoint. Come alone if you want the truth. Roy insisted he was innocent, but Talia can't ignore the possibility that Jade's infiltration runs deeper. If there's even a chance to finally get clarity on Jade's motives, on the pregnancy's safety, on Roy's real intentions, she'll take it. She doesn't want to live in perpetual doubt. The city's skyline fades in her rearview mirror, replaced by rolling hills. Briarpoint is a secluded location overlooking a river. Talia used to go there as a young girl for picnics. The place is quiet, almost deserted on weekdays, perfect for a clandestine rendezvous. She knows it's risky. She's doing exactly what Jade, or some other manipulator, wants. But Talia can't stand the waiting. She needs action. She arrives just as thick clouds gather overhead. Parking near a weathered wooden gazebo, she steps out, scanning the area. Wind whips her hair. No sign of another vehicle. No sign of Jade. Only the hush of nature and distant thunder. Her heart pounds, but she steels herself. Then she notices a small envelope tucked under a rock on the gazebo's bench. Talia approaches cautiously. She picks it up, hands trembling. Inside is a single photograph. It's Roy, in a hospital corridor, talking intimately with a dark-haired woman. The woman looks upset, tears in her eyes. The timestamp reads just 2 weeks ago. On the back of the photo, he lied again. Ask him about the baby. Talia's stomach churns. Another baby. Or is it a misunderstanding? Could this be about her own pregnancy? She checks the surroundings, expecting Jade to pop out, but no one emerges. Wind gusts swirl fallen leaves around her feet. She looks at the photo again. Could this woman be Jade with dyed hair? Or is this some new accomplice? The tension of not knowing is unbearable. Thunder rumbles in the distance, and a few raindrops splatter on the gazebo roof. Her phone rings, unknown number. She answers with a shaky, hello. A distorted voice crackles. He keeps secrets. He always has. You're not safe. Leave him or lose everything. Talia's breath catches. Jade, is this you? Why are you doing this? No answer. Just static. Then the call ends abruptly. Talia stands there, heart in her throat, fists clenched. She came here soon, searching for clarity, but found another layer of confusion. If that's Jade's voice, it's disguised. She can't be certain. Lightning streaks the skies, followed by a deep roll of thunder. Talia knows she must leave soon. This place is too isolated if things turn dangerous. She pockets the photo, glances around one last time, then hurries back to her car. As she drives away, rain begins to pour. Each mile away from Briarpoint weighs on her mind. Is this a trap? She can't dismiss the possibility that Jade's entire plan is to sow doubt. But the references to the baby tear at Talia's peace. She thinks of Roy's vow of honesty. Could there be a second child out there? Something he never told her. The seeds of doubt take root anew, and Talia realizes that. Ironically, she might be playing right into Jade's hands by questioning Roy all over again. Roy and Marshall pull up to the hotel parking lot in a rush, only to find Talia's sedan missing. Rain pelts the windshield. Roy's hands shake around the steering wheel as he dials Talia's phone for the 10th time, still no answer. Marshall scrolls through his own data. We got a plate reader hit. Her car was spotted heading out of the city on Route 7. That leads to Briar Point or beyond. Roy's voice is tight. I know that place. She used to go there as a kid. Anxiety claws at him. What if Jade lured her there? Marshall nods grimly. We better move. They race out of the city. The storm intensifies, wipers slashing furiously. Roy's thoughts spin Talia, pregnant, out in a remote area, possibly walking into Jade's trap. He curses himself for underestimating Jade's psychological warfare. Jade must know Talia's vulnerabilities and she's exploiting them. By the time they reach Briar Point, the rain has eased to a drizzle, but the wind is fierce. Roy parks near the gazebo Talia always mentioned. It's empty, no other cars in sight. He jumps out, scanning the area. Wet leaves cling to his shoes. There's a sense of emptiness here, as if something just ended. Marshall checks footprints in the muddy grass. She was here, he mutters. Look, tire tracks. Looks like she drove off not too long ago. Roy exhales a shaky breath. Thank God she left. But where did she go next? Before Marshall can answer, Roy's phone buzzes. It's a text from Talia. Meet me at our old apartment. Roy, 30 minutes. Alone. Their old apartment, the place they first lived in before wealth and success consumed their lives. Roy's heart twists. That's where they began an old, small loft downtown. He glances at Marshall. She wants me alone. I have to go. Marshall's eyes narrow. Could be Jade hijacking Talia's phone. This feels off. Roy knows that. But if there's even a chance Talia is truly waiting, he has to take it. Follow behind me discreetly. Keep distance. If something happens, Marshall nods. I'll intervene. Roy drives off, adrenaline pumping. The city lights glow as he navigates back. Memories flood him. He and Talia were so young in that loft, deeply in love, oblivious to the storms that would come. He wonders if Talia is re-examining everything in their past to see if there were signs of repeated betrayal. He arrives at the old building. It's mostly vacant now, slated for renovation. He climbs 3 flights of stairs. The hallway is dimly lit, water dripping from a leak in the ceiling. He approaches the door of their old unit. The door stands ajar. A single lamp glows inside. Roy steps in cautiously. Talia. His voice echoes. She emerges from the shadows, tears streaking her cheeks. Her hand shakes as she holds up the photograph from earlier. Who is this woman? Roy. He glances at it, recognition dawning. That's Elena Quinn. She's an old acquaintance. She called me 2 weeks ago, said she needed help paying medical bills. Her daughter's in the hospital. I met her to write a check. Nothing more. Talia's eyes blaze. Why hide it from me? Why keep it secret? Roy shakes his head, voice trembling. I wasn't hiding it. You had your first prenatal scare that day. I didn't want to add stress. Elena begged for discretion. That's all. Thunder rumbles outside, and Talia's face contorts. Jade's using this to paint you as a liar. She said you have another baby. Is that Elena's daughter? Roy staggers backward. Stunned? Absolutely not. Elena's daughter is from a past relationship, nothing to do with me. He moves closer. Talia, you have to believe me. Jade's twisting every detail. Talia stands there, uncertain, heartbreak in her eyes. Outside, the wind howls. In this old apartment, it's as if they have time traveled back to a place where trust was fragile. Roy can almost feel Jade's presence, mocking them both. If Talia doesn't believe him, Jade's already won. Talia lowers the photograph. The tension's so thick it's hard to breathe. She glances around the apartment's peeling wallpaper and exposed pipes, remembering simpler times when their biggest worry was making rent. How did they end up in this labyrinth of secrets and threats? Roy steps forward carefully. Talia, he pleads. Elena came to me out of desperation. Her child has a rare condition. I wrote a personal check so she could get specialized care. That was it. No ongoing affair, no hidden baby. Jade's manipulating every shred of evidence. Talia wants to believe him. She's never seen Roy so vulnerable, eyes watery, voice shaking. It reminds her of the day he confessed his affair with Jade years ago. Except now his desperation feels different. Sincere. She touches her stomach lightly, protective of the life growing within her. Her phone vibrates. She checks the screen, a text from the same unknown number. He lies. Check the desk's drawer. Her pulse spikes. She glances around. In the corner, an old wooden desk stands. This furniture was left behind when they moved out. Slowly, Talia approaches. Roy watches anxiously. Talia, wait. This might be, but Talia tugs open the drawer. Inside is a crumpled envelope labeled with Roy's name. She gingerly lifts it, fear coiling in her stomach. If Jade planted this, what does it contain now? She slides out a set of photos. They're more recent, Roy stepping into a hotel room. A second shot, the same woman. Elena, entering minutes later. The timestamps indicate multiple evenings. Talia's breath hitches. Roy's shoulders tense. That's not what it looks like. Talia flips the photos, scanning them. They indeed show Roy and Elena going into a room. Jade's message is clear. Another hidden rendezvous. Another betrayal. She almost drops the photos. Overwhelmed. I want to trust you, she whispers. But everything keeps pointing to more secrets. Roy takes a steadying breath. I was meeting her in that hotel because she's staying there with her sick child. I didn't want cameras hounding her or tabloids twisting the story about me visiting a single mother in a hospital. So we arranged private meets, strictly charity. Talia, I swear. Talia closes her eyes, letting tears slip. Her heart is torn between fear and faith. Jade has orchestrated such a perfect net of half-truths, but she knows Roy knows his capacity for compassion. Could that also be twisted into a weapon against them? Suddenly, footsteps echo outside. Talia whips around, bracing for Jade's reveal. The door creaks open and then Marshall appears, drenched from the rain. He's out of breath. Both of you, we have to go. Now, Roy tenses. What's wrong? Marshall glances at Talia. Your building security found Jade's name in a contractor's list. She's got a bigger plan. Something about your foundation's official signing tomorrow. Talia's mind races. Jade is targeting the Carmichael Health Foundation. That signing is a huge event, major press coverage, potential donors, all to highlight Talia's philanthropic efforts. If Jade intends to sabotage that or publicly humiliate them, it could devastate Roy's business and Talia's reputation. Roy grabs Talia's hand. We'll face this together. She doesn't pull away this time, but the photos weigh heavily in her mind. She wants to believe him, but Jade's illusions are relentless. One thing is clear, Jade aims to confront them on the biggest stage possible, and Talia can't shake the feeling that a final collision is inevitable, and it might tear their world apart. Thunderous applause resonates in the grand ballroom of the Somerset Hotel, where the Carmichael Health Foundation's signing ceremony is about to commence. A stage stands at the front, lined with chairs for dignitaries and philanthropic partners. Cameras flash from every angle. Media outlets are here in force, eager for a feel-good headline about Roy Carmichael's billion-dollar pledge to children's health care. Backstage, Talia adjusts a delicate microphone pinned to her dress. Her emotions churn like a storm. Normally, she'd be proud to speak at such a major event. She's poured her heart into planning it. Yet, she can't shake the dread that Jade might spring her trap here. Roy stands beside her, buttoning his suit jacket. His eyes flicker with concern. He gently touches her elbow. If you're not up for this, we can postpone. She forces a tight smile. No, if we back out, Jade wins. We do this on our terms. She braces herself. The baby kicks lightly, reminding her to stay calm. She needs to keep stress manageable. Marshall hovers, scanning the busy backstage. Security is tight. We have discreet guards at every entrance. If Jade shows up in person, we'll know. But keep your eyes open for anything unusual, fake credentials. A staffer who shouldn't be here. Roy nods. She might be pulling strings behind a digital curtain again. Let's remain alert. A stage manager signals them time to go on. As Roy and Talia step onto the platform, the crowd breaks into enthusiastic applause. Talia spots a banner above the stage, Carmichael Health Foundation, a new dawn for medical hope. She wonders if Jade's sabotage will appear in the form of leaked documents, an ambush question from the press, or something worse. The ceremony begins smoothly. The host speaks about Roy's generosity, Talia's passion for community, and how this initiative will help families. Talia's nerves tingle with every mention of how united the Carmichaels are. She fears Jade will exploit that irony. When Talia finally takes the podium, applause surges again. Cameras zoom in, capturing her every move. She composes herself, then launches into a heartfelt speech about children's health care, the journey she and Roy took to build a philanthropic legacy, and the importance of the unconditional support for families in need. For a moment, she forgets Jade's threats. She sees heads nodding, people moved by her words. Hope pulses in her chest. Despite everything, she believes in this cause. She and Roy share a glance, reminding her why she once forgave him, because they both want to make a difference. Suddenly, boom, a loud chime from the overhead speakers disrupts the event. The lights flicker. The giant digital backdrop behind Talia flickers, then changes. Her microphone picks up her startled breath. On the screen appears a loop of damning images, the photos of Roy entering the hotel, Elena following behind, then Jade's swirling name in bold letters. Gasps ripple through the audience. Talia's heart plummets. The press scrambles for cameras. The screen cuts to a stylized video snippet. He lied. He betrays. The words flash across in bright red. It's Jade's cyber ambush, right on stage. The crowd buzzes with confusion. Roy leaps to the podium, demanding the staff cut the feed. But the system is hijacked. Jade's final blow is a text display. He's not who he claims to be. Ask the mother of his secret child. Some in the crowd murmur. Others raise eyebrows. Flashes explode. Talia sees tabloids capturing every humiliating second. Her vision blurs with shock and heartbreak. Even if Roy's explanation is true, public perception might be irreversible. Jade just painted Roy as an adulterer, a liar, and cast Talia as a naive pregnant wife. Everything they built stands on a knife's edge. Chaos erupts. The microphone picks up frantic voices. Security guards rushing to sever the hijacked feed. The screen finally goes dark after a few agonizing moments. But damage is done. Dozens of reporters hurl questions. Who is the mother? Is the foundation the cover-up? The air is electric with scandal. Talia steps back from the podium, tears threatening to spill. Roy tries to steady her. Are you okay? We'll fix this. He glances at the stunned audience. The foundation partners look rattled. Some appear outraged, others sympathetic. Marshall charges onto the stage, leaning in to speak under the noise. We trace the hack to a hidden remote device near the AV booth. Jade is gone, but we found remnants of her code. Roy's expression darkens. She planned this perfectly, all for maximum humiliation. He grips Talia's hand. We need to address the media, or they'll run wild with rumors. Talia, throat constricted, gives a shaky nod. She moves to the microphone, forcing composure. I'm sorry for that interruption. Someone with malicious intent has weaponized personal photos. We stand by our mission to aid children's health care. Her voice quivers, but she presses on. Any suggestion of a secret child is false. If there's confusion, we'll clarify it transparently. This foundation is bigger than scandal. She steps away, not waiting for applause. The crowd's uncertain murmurs fill the space. Roy signals for the event to end, leading Talia off stage. The philanthropic signing stalls, overshadowed by this sensational twist. Cameras flash relentlessly. Guards form a protective barrier. In the backstage corridor, Talia rests against the wall, shaky hands cradling her abdomen. The baby, she whispers, feeling a rush of stress. Roy kneels beside her. Let's get you out of here. We'll do damage control later. I care about you first. Talia nods, tears slipping. She wants me to hate you, to believe you're still lying. I'm so tired. Roy. He wraps an arm around her, gently guiding her out. Marshall signals a discreet exit where a car awaits. They slip away, leaving the hotel in turmoil behind them. En route to the penthouse, Talia remains silent, eyes closed. Roy wonders if this is the final blow Jade needed to break them. The Foundation's future hangs in doubt. The media will spin this into a feeding frenzy, and Talia's health cannot handle indefinite stress. A phone call from Lillian breaks the silence, Roy. Talia, there's an emergency injunction. Someone filed a legal claim blocking the Foundation's funds, alleging financial impropriety. They're citing a scandal involving a secret child support payment. Roy curses under his breath. Jade's sabotage is multi-layered. She not only humiliated them publicly, but also triggered legal scrutiny that can freeze his assets. Talia's eyes snap open. She's orchestrating everything like she predicted your downfall step by step. Roy grips the steering wheel tighter. We'll fight back. I won't let her destroy us. But we need to prove the truth quickly. The car ascends the ramp to their penthouse parking. The city's lights sprawl beneath them, a once comforting sight that now feels harsh and judgmental. Talia leans her head against the seat, a silent tear tracing her cheek. Roy's chest tightens at the sight. Jade claimed victory in this round, yet a spark of defiance ignites in Roy's eyes. The final confrontation with Jade hasn't happened. He's determined to expose her, because if they don't, everything they value, their marriage, the baby's future, the Foundation will crumble under Jade's relentless illusions. The penthouse is unnervingly calm as Roy helps Talia inside. She sinks onto the living room sofa, exhaustion etched on her face. Outside Yisuen, the city buzzes with rumors. Social media is aflame. News outlets question Roy's character, Talia's gullibility, the Foundation's legitimacy. Roy paces, phone in hand, orchestrating a crisis PR plan. He demands immediate statements clarifying the secret child rumor, ordering legal teams to trace Jade's digital footprints. Talia watches him, sadness mingling with a hint of admiration. He's fighting for them. When Roy finally ends a call, Talia speaks quietly. We can't just spin this. Jade has to be confronted. She's the root. Without stopping her, we're just plugging holes in a sinking ship. Roy sits beside her, nodding. We know she leased space in Easton Tower under an alias. Marshall's close to identifying that alias. Once we have it, we can track her real location. He hesitates, eyes drifting to her belly. But you come first. If stress endangers you or the baby, I'll handle it alone. Talia shakes her head firmly. We're in this together, Boyan. I won't hide while you shoulder the blame. He takes her hand, voice trembling. I'm sorry you endured that ambush. If I could change the past. She presses a finger to his lips gently. We can't change it. We can only decide what to do now. A tear slips from her eye. I still have doubts. Those photos? Jade is clever, but part of me knows your heart. I remember who you've become. Roy's eyes fill with gratitude. I won't betray that trust. Suddenly, Talia's phone buzzes with a new text. She tenses, half expecting Jade's haunting words. Instead, it's from Elena Quinn. I need to talk. Jade approached me. She forced me to stage those photos. I'm sorry. Talia inhales sharply, reading it out loud to Roy. Relief and anger flash in his eyes. So Jade blackmailed Elena. That's how she got those compromised shots. Elena must have had no choice. Talia texts Elena back, urging her to come forward as a witness. The truth is out there. Jade manipulated everyone, used fear and scandal to orchestrate chaos. If Elena testifies, the rumor about Roy's secret child can be crushed. A sense of hope stirs between them. Talia leans her head on Roy's shoulder. We can salvage the Foundation, maybe even trust each other again. Roy's arm encircles her gently. Yes, we confront Jade with the truth. Then we rebuild. For a few moments, they sit in a quiet embrace, the city lights glowing beyond the windows. Their path forward is still treacherous, but they share a determination. This baby growing within Talia symbolizes a new start if they can weather Jade's final blow. Softly, Talia says, "Whatever happens, we choose peace, not revenge. If we sink to Jade's level, we lose ourselves." Roy exhales. Agreed. The best revenge is living with honesty and unity. Outside, the night deepens. The swirl of paparazzi and online gossip might continue, but in this room, there's a fragile sense of closure taking shape. They may not have defeated Jade yet, but they've reclaimed a measure of emotional ground. Neither notices the flicker of a small red light behind a decorative vase, a hidden camera. Jade is still watching. The final confrontation is near, and as Talia dozes off against Roy's shoulder, that camera silently transmits every intimate word to an unknown destination, fueling Jade's unstoppable quest to fracture them one last time. Morning dawns with an unexpected calm. A gentle sunrise glows through the windows, painting the penthouse walls in soft pastels. Talia stirs awake, her head resting on Roy's lap, the events of the past days weighing heavily on her mind. For one fleeting moment, she feels safe. Roy strokes her hair gently. "I spoke with Elena last night," he says, voice hushed. "She's willing to go public, to admit Jade coerced her. Lillian's preparing statements. That'll clear the false rumors about a secret child." Talia's shoulders relax a fraction. "Thank you." That's a step. She sits up carefully, conscious of the baby, and Marshall Roy's eyes flick toward the hallway. He traced Jade's alias to a new penthouse rental near Midtown. She's been operating from there under Julie Radcliffe. "He wants us to let the authorities handle it." Talia nods but senses the tension in Roy's gaze. "You're not convinced that's enough." He stands, pacing. "Jade is cunning. She'll have backup plans. You saw how easily she hijacked that event. We might corner her, but she'll lash out. I don't want you in harm's way." Talia steels herself. "I won't live in fear. If we hide, she wins. Let's do this openly. Force her out of shadows." A sudden beep from Roy's phone interrupts. A text from Jade. An actual phone number this time. "Meet me alone at the Easton Tower rooftop, 2:00 p.m., or everyone finds out your wife's biggest secret." Roy's gut clenches. Wife's biggest secret. She's the one with secrets, not you. Talia bristles. She's bluffing. Yet worry flickers in her eyes. Could Jade have fabricated something about Talia's own past? The pregnancy? Or is it something else entirely? Roy exhales. "We can't ignore her. If we let the police handle it, she might leak more lies. This has to end." Marshall steps in from the hallway. "We have Jade's location, but we also intercepted that text. I strongly advise we set a trap. If you meet her at Easton Tower, we'll have plainclothes officers nearby." Roy meets Talia's gaze. She grips his hand. We face her together. Hours later, Roy and Talia step onto the Easton Tower rooftop. It's a sunny afternoon. Wind whipping Talia's hair. Marshal and discreet authorities wait below. The city sprawls around them in all directions. At the far edge of the rooftop stands a lone figure in a black trench coat, Jade Rogers. She turns slowly, revealing a triumphant smirk. "So good to see you both," Jade says lightly, though her eyes glint with malice. "I was worried Roy might come alone." She arches an eyebrow at Talia's pregnant silhouette. "How touching." Roy's voice steadies. "We know what you did coercing Elena, forging emails, sabotaging the foundation. It's over. Your blackmail won't work." Jade laughs softly, a cruel sound carried by the wind. "Over hardly. I have backups of everything. The press devours scandal. And Talia, oh, Talia, you think you're so innocent?" She slides a phone from her pocket, fiddling with a file. "You should tell Roy what you did years ago. The heartbreak you caused. The vow you broke." Talia's eyes widen. "I don't know what you're talking about." Jade's grin widens. "Oh, but you do. Let me remind you." She hits play on an audio clip, the tinny sound muffled by the rooftop breeze. Talia goes pale. recognizing a faint voice, her own saying something about leaving Roy if he ever found out a certain truth. Before Jade can broadcast more, Marshall and the police burst onto the rooftop. She attempts to flee, but they corner her. Jade screams accusations, calling Talia a fraud, yelling that Roy never knew the real reason Talia forgave him. As the officers drag Jade away, Talia trembles, tears brimming. Roy holds her tight, confusion etched on his face. He whispers, "What is she talking about?" Talia's lips quiver, torn by sudden dread. I, I can explain. She stammers. "I never wanted you to know. It could destroy us." The camera flashes from a press helicopter overhead. Jade's final glare lingers. The foundation scandal might be resolved, but in Jade's parting words, she ignited a deeper fuse, one that threatens to blow open Talia's hidden guilt. A hush falls on the rooftop as sirens wail below. Roy and Talia stand on the brink of a new chasm when Jade's final revelation has opened. Their marriage survived Jade's manipulations, but can it survive the secret Talia never intended to reveal?